Welcome to Mind the Word, a space where everyone's welcome to share their experiences about language. Do you want to join me? Grab yourself a cup of tea and let's get started. So today we're going to talk about something that is very dear to me because I mentioned in the past that I've been living in the Netherlands for I think 5 years now. Anyway, I came here to study and then I stayed because the Netherlands is a wonderful country. But I wanted to talk about what I experienced personally as differences between Spain and the Netherlands. And of course, you know, I'm biased as being a foreign person in the Netherlands, and I'm also biased as a person that comes from Spain. My perspective about how Spain is and how the Netherlands is has changed over the years a lot. So I think that's something that is important to keep in mind. So the first thing, work-life and work-life balance, let's say. So something that I noticed when I moved to the Netherlands is that people really, they seem to be very efficient, and they are, and I think there is a pretty big separation between work and, you know, doing your 9 to 5 and then going home and doing something else, just spending time with your family, or I don't know, just doing some sports or some activities that you like. And that's fairly respected. People are really keen into taking their holidays, and, you know, that's really respected, and I see that people travel a lot. So that's something that I was very happily surprised when I came to the Netherlands and started experiencing what life was here. So on the other side, Spain is very different. I think for many Europeans, we are kind of thought to be in general, Southern Europe is I don't know, it's warmer and people don't work as hard, but that's really not true at all. In Spain, we actually have very long hours, and people will work really hard. Something that I realized after being here for a couple of years is that, for instance, people go to sleep really late and they still wake up really early, and I feel that also has an effect on how they live their lives. So I don't know if it's because we're a bit more social at work and we might be a bit more chatty, or because, I don't know, the culture is just different. But it seems like people in Spain are working forever when they're doing office jobs, of course. So yeah, that's a very, very big difference that I noticed, that here you're kind of okay, it's 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., ready to go home, and you're done. Okay, so another thing that I find that is super important and is a big difference between living in the Netherlands and living in Spain is the culture around food. So that's something that people don't realize that really affects your social life. One of the reasons actually why we have long days is because for us, lunchtime is the most important time of the day. It's the most important meal of the day, and that really breaks the day in two. So when I go back to Spain and visit my family and my friends, I really feel I have such long days because literally the morning and the afternoon or the evening just feels like two different days. So you plan your day based on what you do before lunch and what you do after lunch. On the other hand, that culture is not really focused on food. Of course, that's always a way of socializing, but in the Netherlands, people have their main meal in the evening once they've done with work, and they just go home, they cook with their families, and they have a family meal. But when they go to work, they will just literally eat some bread and cheese. And for a Spanish person, that's not okay. That's not a proper meal. So that's something that definitely makes a difference. I think it's one of the things that was the hardest for me to adapt to, and I think I haven't yet. So another thing that is also extreme difference, the transportation culture. So in Spain, if you live in a big city like Madrid or Barcelona, especially in Madrid, you will just take the train, the metro, or the bus to your place of work, etc., and you are probably going to commute for an hour, which is great in a way because you get to read a lot. I miss that from when I was going to university and just spent 45 minutes in the train. But the Netherlands is completely different, and something that is wonderful about the Netherlands that I always miss every time I'm in Spain for a while is that you cycle everywhere. It's just such in their culture to cycle everywhere because it's cheaper, it's healthier, it's easier. Even in Amsterdam, it's still easier to just cycle somewhere you have to go than taking a tram, because it's going to take you less time to cycle somewhere because the connections are never as good as your bike. a really big difference between Spain and the Netherlands is the languages. In Spain, obviously, everyone speaks Spanish. There is in some regions where you speak Catalan or variants of Catalan, Galician and Basque, but overall, everyone speaks Spanish. But when it comes to foreign languages, that's not really a thing. It's changing a little bit now, and definitely the big cities like Barcelona is very international, and Madrid is changing slowly as well. And more people will be able to speak English, but it's not really a thing. However, in the Netherlands, you can get away with just speaking English, and everyone, absolutely everyone, speaks the language very well. Even when they say that they don't, they will be able to communicate perfectly. One that's different that is probably obvious to everyone is the difference in terms of how people socialize among themselves, and that's definitely something that we know, that in warmer countries people are just like a little bit more open, and the further you go north it's a little bit harder. So the Netherlands is somewhere there where it's like a little bit harder to get like really good friends. Of course, Amsterdam is kind of like a different case because there's so many international people that you always have the opportunity to meet other people. But in general, it's a lot harder from my perspective to just meet new people and make really good friends. So I think in Spain, we're just like in general, we're very chatty. So it's very normal to just like randomly chat to people on the street or like in a bar or whatever, and we're just kind of like, yeah, it's just, we wouldn't even think it twice. It's just normal. Whereas here, I sometimes had the case where like I would just like randomly want to talk to someone, which I guess is a bit weird, but like it's not. And people are like kind of a bit awkward and they don't really understand like what you want from them. It's like, oh, I just want to talk. It's actually interesting because as the Netherlands is somewhere in between being warm and being cold, but this year I'm moving to Norway, so I can tell you that I will definitely do some research on how Norwegians are, and I'm expecting that they're going to be a little bit harder than the Dutch, so keep watching. Just kind of like, you know. Okay, there we go. Hi, welcome to Mind the World. Why do you say that? Okay, and there we go again. I think it's fine.
It's like when you go like this.
So in Spain we actually have very long hours, and people will work really hard, but I think we might not be as efficient because we just do a